Hello everybody and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm hot for justice.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm NV Jitters.
That's it.
And that's it.
That's it. We're here today. We're getting back to doing some series. And we decided to start with... Whose suggestion was this?
It was mine.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Gav's.
Gav suggested Tokyo Revengers, which is newish. Did it come out this year? Like, it came out recently.
2021.
2021? Okay, yeah. So pretty recent.
I don't know when the manga came out, but yeah, it came out last year.
I'm assuming before it. And this is... so this is kind of like a time travel anime. A bit of like a not necessarily a Groundhog Day, but like... I'm actually kind of feeling 12 Monkeys a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different elements in this show. I definitely got Steins Gate vibes in some aspects, but...
Oh yeah, it's
maybe
like
this is my
Steins
bias.
Gate. It's like Steins Gate, but kind of skips the actual, like, hey, let's get to know the characters first, and let's just jump right to, people are dying and you gotta fix it. Which is pretty much what happens to the guy in our story. He's a loser.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much just a loser. He admits it. He's a loser. He did not do good things with his life. And, the girl that he had as a girlfriend in middle school, she dies. He sees that on TV, hasn't seen her in years, but he's like, oh, that's sad. And then he gets pushed in front of a train.
Sad too.
That's sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, he wakes up in his middle school body, and he's like, wow, this is a weird dream, but looks like it's really happening, and I'm back in time.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this right now. I can't be the only one that thinks he looks older as a middle schooler than he does as an adult.
I don't think that. I don't think that at all. I can tell he's shorter, and I think his face might be a little rounder. And that kind of gives me more kid vibes.
Yeah.
Everyone else who's apparently a child in the series is going to, like, the Jotaro Kujo School of Puberty.
Right, they all look so old.
Yeah. Like
They're-
Kiyomasa. Like, what's up with
For
Kiyomasa?
30-year-old
Yeah.
men who are just like, I'm 15. You look like you have a 15-year-old child.
Pretty much.
But yeah, so, yeah, he's back in his old body, and bad news for him, he was a delinquent, or some kind of, yeah, delinquent in middle school, and him and his gang get beat up by a bigger gang, and then get folded into that gang. I'm saying gang with, like, verbal air quotes, but it's a real gang that they get folded into.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
organized crime, essentially.
Yeah. Well, almost. It's pre-organized crime. They're still, like, middle school, high school age kids. There's only, like, so much you can really do in that time period. But yeah, it's eventually going to turn into the organized crime gang that is going to end up killing this kid. What was the guy's name?
Like,
Takemichi.
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 Yeah, Takemichi. Yeah.
Yeah, Takemichi's then girlfriend. God, fuck, what was her name? Hinata. Hinata. How did I forget that? I'm a Naruto fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's dealing with life. Middle school is the worst years of anyone's life. So, and apparently this guy's life peaked in middle school.
That's
so,
sad.
Yeah, no, you were like kind of going like, "Aw," when I called him a loser. He's a loser. You peaked in middle school.
But
That's
it's
it.
sad.
It is.
Yeah.
That's very sad.
I feel
Anywho,
bad
and if this
for
is
him.
his peak, it's even worse. Like,
Yeah.
because his life is shit.
Yeah,
But
it
anyway,
is.
he's getting kind of a second chance at things, and he tells the little brother of his girlfriend, "Hey, you're gonna die in 12 years. Try to do something to prevent that." Shakes his hand, wakes up in the future, and then he meets the little brother who is now an adult and a police officer. He's like, "I took your advice. I couldn't save my sister, but maybe you can." So they start like researching. Well, the brother's already done the research, but like he's trying to like fill this guy's head with as much as he can of like, here's how this all went down. Here's how the gang got big. Here's what led to this. Here's like all the little dominoes and pieces that I was able to piece together. You need to know all this so you can stop it from happening. And then we're getting like into our 12 Monkeys. Have you guys seen 12 Monkeys?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Well, I know you've seen it, but like
Yeah, it's one of my
I
favorite
know you've seen it. The list is
No.
not for you.
movies.
Okay, we'll add. That's probably already on the list, but just in case, I'll add it to
Yeah,
the
I'm
list.
pretty sure it's on the list.
Yeah, apparently he can travel back in time by shaking the hand of the little brother. Weird.
Yep.
I don't. Okay.
It's a thing.
They
Can
still
I throw
haven't
this out
explained
there?
that.
Can I throw this out there? How did he do it the first time? My initial thought, I had this split-second moment of being like, oh, what if the little brother pushed him in front of the train? But I'm like, he's dead. Unless he faked his death. Now I'm thinking about that. What if he faked his death to push the guy in front of the train because he's like, you're the one who started this all, or something?
Well, the brother didn't die. It was Hina the one that died. They're trying to stop Hina from dying.
The news report at the beginning that said that she died said her little brother also died with her.
Yeah.
So that kind of rules him out. Unless he faked his death, blamed the guy for leading to his sister dying because the gang stuff happened in middle school, pushed him in front of a train, which altered the past, turning him then into a good guy who helps the guy, and this is going to be a twist for later on. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? 12 Monkeys has a lot of twists and turns, too.
So I'm guessing you've only seen the first 3 episodes.
I have only seen the first 3 episodes, but here's my prediction so far. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. The sister is the leader of the mafia. I might have been thinking about Cowboy Bebop lately, and how that ending
The weird
sucked.
live action.
Yes. We don't need to go there. Just know that at some point we did watch the rest of the series, and it doesn't improve. I was very wrong.
I slowly watched the soul of Al leave his body as we watched it that night.
You know, I'm wondering if at some point, I feel like enough people have complained. It's already canceled. Who gives a shit? But it's also like, maybe at some point we should actually talk about it. Let us know in the comments if you actually want to hear us talk about that at some point, because we have a lot of grievances that are like specific.
But to answer your question, Al, even in the manga, as far as I'm concerned, they haven't fully explained how they time travel. Like, they haven't explained how that works yet. It's just something that happens.
That's cool. I mean, the whole thing does seem like it's very like Groundhog Day accidental time travel. That's more of a time loop, but never mind. You guys have seen Groundhog Day, at least, right? Everyone's seen Groundhog Day.
I haven't seen it.
The silence.
What the fuck? Okay, on the list. Cool.
That one's good too.
We just had Groundhog Day, and you've never seen Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
I've seen parts of it while it's on TV, but like not the whole thing.
Oh my god, Gav. Alright, you know what? I can't go off on this right now. I can't go off on this because we got a different time travel thing going on. And again, it's going off of, not a time loop so much as we're going to go back to the past to fix a situation, which I'm usually a fan of because it usually involves a level of bootstrap theory where you end up causing the thing that you came back to not happen. It's sort of like that rule of science, or like that theory of like if you observe something, it will ultimately change its outcome, sort of thing. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of possibilities.
I mean, there's so many different roles for time travel. Like like you can always do the Back to the Future. Oh, you're not supposed to change the past, but it ends up changing the past, or the butterfly effect, and all that
it kind of works off
multiverse
theory a little bit. Bootstrap theory kind of goes off the idea that everything is as it is. And you can't really change the past because you going to the past ultimately was what caused what you tried to change.
That one always kind of warps my mind because it's like the person has to be born to see that, to do that, but then that person also affects the past. So like, what came first, the person that was born or the thing that happened in the past to inspire that?
That's only in the event that you go to before you were born, kind of thing. But yeah, it really depends on what school of thought you tend to go with. There's like a lot of different things, and a lot of different ones are like purely for narrative purposes, kind of are based on like, what are your themes? Do you believe in like change? You can change something? Do you believe that things are destined, or you have to live with something like, or is it looking at things from a different perspective than what you were? There's a whole lot of different ways to look at it, and they're all very interesting. So I'm interested to see where this one goes, because so far he's just gone to the past. He can theoretically at this point go back to the future by touching the little brother's hand again, which you've expressed to me that he probably is going to do at some point to confer with future him, to be like, okay, how am I doing? Because he can only go exactly 12 years in the past. So, like, he left on July 4th, he showed up on July 4th. He leaves on July 6th, he shows up on July 6th. So he's very limited in where he can go. or when he can go specifically, which I think is a good limitation of like that's kind of cool. It's like you still have to kind of work with a timetable and stuff like that. I'm gonna be interested to see how much things change as he keeps going. But yeah,
my thing though is that with this show, I know you've only seen the first 3 episodes, but one thing I really like about the show is that, yeah, obviously the time travel and going back and forth, is a major element, but time travel is not the focus of the show. It's more of the characters and trying to stop. The main point of the show is trying to prevent a dystopian future. You can almost say in a Terminator-esque way, where it's like you're trying to stop the worst possible outcome. So you
haven't seen 12 Monkeys. This is like 100% 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not giving away 12 Monkeys now, but no, you know what? I think it'll be pretty different.
I don't think they know what
I think it's primarily how they're doing the time travel that I'm like, this is 12 Monkeys.
Yeah. Plus, it's like, I don't know if you've gotten there yet. I actually you
3
haven't
episodes.
Gotten there yet.
I've barely seen shit.
But they I don't really know if this is like spoilers. It's more like mechanics. But you'll find out how pretty soon that whenever Takemichi is in the current time, that he his middle school self back in whatever year that was, I don't back
2005.
Yeah, is just kind of doing whatever, and then he'll he'll come back into his body and he'll be like, what the fuck was I in the middle of doing?
Yeah, because he can't change everything unless he's there. So whatever was going to happen, or what he did was going to happen anyway, if he didn't already affect the timeline.
And also when he goes back in time, his future, or I guess current self, is still living. So there's times where he's in the past for so long, he goes back and he's realized, well, shit, what am I doing in my real life right now? Am I supposed to be at work right now?
Comatose? I think he's just passed out.
Maybe. This might be a Days of Future Past situation.
I guess.
Yeah. Because he's going to his own. He's entering his own body in the past as opposed to going to the past. So there's a difference. It's a cross between 12 Monkeys and X-Men Days of Future Past.
Never thought you put those 2 movies in a sentence together.
Hey, you haven't seen 12 Monkeys. You don't know how much it connects. Honestly, it kind of does in a lot of ways.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. This is primarily about the relationships and that and that sort of thing. The time travel is just facilitating a way to give us sort of a ticking clock and an overall goal for our character, but really it's about him developing relationships with these, I guess they're kind of criminals now, but future leaders of the criminal underworld. And
I mean, some of the characters you'll meet later on in the show that are the leaders of the gang, they're really, I mean, obviously they're delinquents.
We met Mikey and Kenny.
But they're good characters at heart. They do have...
Yeah, it's one of those, I feel like there's other things like Durara or something. There's a number of people who are criminals there in that show as well, but they're also, they're not bad people. They just, have a line of work kind of outside of what society would say is necessarily a good thing.
Right.
My favorite character in the show, I don't know if you saw him in the first 3 episodes, Dragon Kun. He's
Kenny.
What?
Kenny.
Yeah, Draken. Kenny.
Yeah, they call him Kenny.
Yeah.
Mikey calls him Kenny, and he's like, don't call me that. He's like, I get to call you whatever I want. I'm the boss.
But yeah, he's my favorite character, and he's got a really good heart. It's just if you fuck with any of his friends, he'll beat you and kill you.
It's I'm actually now kind of reminded of The Outsiders. Did you read that?
Yeah.
Everyone had to read that.
Everyone.
So
what's up?
I did read the book and see the movie for that, so...
I feel like that was everyone. Everyone had to read it in high school, and they're like, hey, we got an extra week here for an in-service day or something that ended up being a snow day. Let's just watch the movie real quick.
Right.
It's not a bad movie. It actually has a lot of people in it.
I liked it.
The Outsiders? Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Stay gold, Pony Boy. Yeah, so far he's garnered the attention of the, what do they call themselves, the Tokyo Majin?
Manji.
Yeah, the Tokyo
Manji
gang.
Yeah, he's garnered the attention of the leadership because apparently he's like Mikey's dead brother. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are. He's at least found one of the pieces to the puzzle. And he passed by the other piece of the puzzle, I believe. We will probably eventually learn that he's the real bad guy. I don't know. Or maybe he's a good guy all along.
You have no idea. That's all I'm going to say.
Mikey was the evil mastermind all along. Or maybe, again, it was Hinata the whole time. I think maybe it's, what's the brother's name? Naoto?
Naoto.
Yeah.
Naoto. He's the one pulling the strings. You know what? We're going to mix in other movies. It's The Departed. And Naoto's Matt Damon. I just gave away you know what? They give away that part of The Departed like in the first 10 minutes. You know Matt Damon's like a dirty cop.
Was Matt Damon's character the one where Leonardo DiCaprio threw the glass in? Or was that another character?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Wasn't there like a famous in The Departed? Wasn't there somebody that lost their shit and like threw a beer or an alcohol glass at somebody?
Oh no, DiCaprio smashed a guy's head with a little drink tumbler.
Yeah, wasn't that Matt Damon or was that another character?
No, it was a different guy.
Okay.
He kind of questioned his masculinity in front of a mob boss, so he's like, "Well, I gotta save some face here. I'm just gonna smash this guy's head in."
Okay.
As you do. It's Boston. Have you guys seen The Departed?
No, I just know about that scene.
Add it to the fucking list again. It's like we just gotta keep adding shit. It's like, I'm just gonna say this. We did, like, actually finally compile a list. There's over 400 movies on it that I have to show you people. So, look out for that podcast at some point, whenever we figure out the logistics of doing 400 of these. This is either gonna go on for, like, 8 years and constantly keep re-upping, or, I don't know, we're just gonna have to, like, bang out 20 a month. Which, I'm down for watching 20-plus movies a month. I don't know how much you guys can keep up with me, though. So, we'll see. Anyway, Tokyo Revengers. This combination of The Departed, Days of Future Past, and 12 Monkeys. It's interesting. This is an interesting show, and I'm interested to kind of see where this is going. Characters are fun so far. I feel like we've already gotten past. I don't know how much the 30-year-old middle schoolers are going to show up again, but you know, they'll probably be there for something at some point. I'm interested to see what the other kids in the gang do. Pompadour Kid, Ponytail Kid, Hippie Kid, and Glasses Kid.
Who's Hippie Kid?
He's the one who doesn't really have any distinction. He just has long hair.
Oh, is that what makes him Hippie Kid?
I guess so.
I'll just
the
say
one who
this.
almost got his ass beat. Are you talking about that one?
Oh, he didn't get his ass beat. Takamichi saved him from getting his ass beat.
Yeah, that's why I said almost.
Almost got his ass beat. All right.
Yeah.
I'll just say this: as someone who's seen the full season, it only gets better. Like there's moments where obviously Takamichi's a weird case where, like, as a protagonist, he's a crybaby. Like that's like his nickname. And a lot of people didn't like him, but I honestly thought, like, you know what? Throughout the show, the shit that he has to go through, you'd be like that too if you had to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
And there's moments
there's moments
in the show that made, I don't want to say it had my jaw drop, but it had my eyes wide. Like when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, oh shit.
I don't mind someone who cries or like someone who's emotional or something. As a protagonist, that's fine, so long as they do something with it. Like, if he just whined about stuff, I wouldn't like him. But if he's like he's in a tough situation, no one can deny him that. And if he has an emotional response to that, that's perfectly fine. That's a valid response to what's going on. But at the same time, do something. And I feel like this is going to be his journey of he didn't do anything before, and he ran away, and now he's not going to.
I just remember when I was watching the show last year every week when it came out. The number one complaint people had in the discussion threads was that a lot of people were mixed on the main character, and some people liked him, some people didn't, and I was kind of like, I kind of empathize with him because like he's what, like 26 in the original in this show. I'm 27 now, but if I was
we're of an age with this guy.
What?
We're of an age with this guy.
Yeah, so like if we had to go back and again relive our middle school years while you're also A, in a gang, and B, trying to save
I wasn't in a gang in middle school. I don't want to go back to middle school.
Yeah. But that's it's also like, yeah, you see throughout this like the series that like Takemichi actually tries like that. The whole point of him like doing this whole thing with Naoto, like their plan to like save Hina in like the current day or whatever, like he has to like go back and change things. So like even though he's kind of a crybaby, he's gonna like actually try to like stop things from like, you know, going south.
Yeah, he's actually going to do something to change his situation. He's been given a second chance, and he's going to take it. And that's what I've seen so far. Now, granted, this is the first 3 episodes. I've seen an 1/8 of this show so far. I don't know if they're going to get another season or not. I don't know what's going on there.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. So, yeah, this is not a place that I can make a great judgment on what he's going to be in the future as the series continues. But so far, I like him well enough. And I'm interested to see where he's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something. God, who, if I can remember.
Can you remember?
Did you guys see the uncensored or the censored version?
We watched it on HBO because I just had that. They like kept putting it on like the main page, so we're just like, oh, we should have to watch that at some point. I will say that I didn't see any swastikas, if that's what you're asking.
Well, yeah, that's the censored version because
okay.
That was probably the other biggest notoriety with the show because obviously that symbol has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's got a cultural significance in Japan, but obviously there was a period in human history where that symbol became forever tarnished.
Hits a little different now.
Yeah.
So basically there was 2 versions of the show. One that aired on, regular TV and on Funimation and Crunchyroll that removes any, like, they got, some of the biggest things about the show was that how they tried to censor it. Like, they sometimes cut away, sometimes they removed it digitally, sometimes they used the light trick, and sometimes they just stumble on random shots.
First off, I don't think I've seen any shots in this that would have included what I have to assume are kind of like uniforms.
Yeah, I don't think we've gotten to that part
we've not gotten there. So the only spot where they really censored it was in the opening when I believe you see the shot of them from behind with the symbol, and they just use like a lens flare that was actually kind of appropriate for the scene to hide it. So it's not super noticeable unless you know what you're looking for. Later on, I don't know. I can't say.
Again, this is coming from someone who's seen the whole show. The censored version is can be laughable at times.
Okay. I mean, as long as they're not like just straight up doing that thing that Another did, where they're just like gonna black out half the screen while violence is happening.
I've told this story outside the podcast, but my favorite instance of them censoring. There's a scene where a bunch of characters are trying on the uniforms for the first time, and in the censored version, they're in like an ice cream parlor, so they pan on this shot of an empty ice cream bowl for like a good minute straight without cutting to it at all, away from it at all. You can hear them in the background talking, but they don't show it. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I was getting confused, but then I realized, oh, they're probably cutting out the image.
Yeah.
Granted, this is like, I don't want to like go into like some 4Kids type shit as far as that kind of stuff goes, like how they did with One Piece. But I feel like it's gold lettering on black fabric. And the majority of the lettering is fine. It's just that one symbol. I feel like you could probably, pay someone to just edit it out.
Yeah, you'd think.
Like just like do some like keying or something and just like turn the gold black so it's just not there anymore, or like cover it up or something. Like, it doesn't seem like it would be that hard, depending on the shot.
I mean, the problem is that they're already animating it for the Blu-ray to include the symbol and the uncensored version, so like maybe they didn't want to do two different versions.
But again, it's not like you're removing some sort of really complicated design or complicated like imagery. Like it'd be kind of. I mentioned another, which was that it's Final Destination, the anime. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'd be very hard to disguise how some of those people die as anything else. So, you know, I understand the censored version is just like, yeah, just don't show it at all. But again, this is literally just like a little thing on somebody's shirt. They've done it with like, you guys remember we talked about a little bit like Tiger and Bunny, how they have advertising on them, but in the Netflix version or like a number of the other streaming versions, it's gone. It's not there. They just edited it out. And I don't know if that was like a thing that they were like, oh, we're going to think about this beforehand and like have a version that has it and have a version that doesn't. And maybe it was easier because it was 3D models for a lot of the advertising.
Maybe.
Like it might be easier to reskin something in a 3D engine as opposed to reanimating it 2D or like just covering something up in 2D. But again, this is a very small thing. Not a small thing. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
But it's a small piece of the animation that you should be able to just cover it up easily.
You'd think, yeah.
But
I mean, like Envy was saying, they might have like other reasons for like not doing it, but like I get what you mean.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, I was saying before. So are you guys watching? Did you guys watch I assume Envy's watched the subbed because you were watching it as it came out?
Yeah, I watched the sub.
What about the rest of you? Did you watch dub or sub?
Well, HBO only had the dub, so.
I think originally I was watching the sub, and then this time I watched the dub.
How's the comparison?
Okay.
I think the dub is actually fine. Like, I don't have a problem with the dub, to be honest. I don't know if other people do, but...
Yeah, I mean, I watched the dub, just because I've been watching dubs ever since we started doing this, so that we could, like, talk about the voice actors.
Mm-hmm.
And all... Like, I like the dub. Like, I like the voices that they have for the different characters. I just remember mentioning that the episode that I watched, like the last episode, I forget which podcast I mentioned this in, but that I was watching it and I was like, there he is. There's our favorite guy.
Oh, Bryce Papenbrook?
You know...
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he the guy that he was fighting at some point? Yeah. Easy to spot.
Yeah, he's one of the Tomon gang members.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that I recognize that voice anywhere.
It's like me when we're playing Batman. Hi, Steve Bloom.
Yeah.
He's a lot of people in that game.
And it was just like, okay.
I feel like that's almost becoming a category at this point. Spot the Papenbrook.
Yeah, exactly. No, I keep
spot
wondering...
the Papenbrook or where's Papenbrook? Sometimes it's obvious, but sometimes it's like, oh, he's a background character. But we can still tell immediately.
Yeah. I look for that, like, every time I go to watch a new sub now. I'm like, or not a new sub, a new dub. I'm like,
You can hear him even in the sub. Oh, God.
I'm like, is he gonna be in this? Like, and then I listen to all the characters, and I'm like, usually I, like, can't tell with voice actors, because I'm just bad at, like, picking up voices, unless...
You know me, like, I'll get that shit.
Like, I will recognize that I know their voice from somewhere, but I won't, like, be able to tell you who it is right away, until after I, like, know, and then I can, like, tell. But Bryce Papenbrook is... I can just tell. Same with Same with Liam O'Brien. I can pick up Liam O'Brien's voice.
I feel like you probably watched a ton of Critical Role. You could probably like pick out any of them.
It's weird, Gab. I do have a lot of dub actors and actresses where I can easily identify their voice, but I've seen so much anime the last couple of years, I can recognize sub voices now too. Like even if I don't remember their names, I can like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know that girl.
Oh, jeez.
like Dio's voice actor. Like I forget what his name is in Japanese, but like he pretty much uses that same inflection of his voice for all his roles. So like every time I hear him speak in anime, oh, that's Dio.
Yeah, I'm not at that point. I haven't watched enough subbed, I feel like, since like high school. But yeah. I really like, as far as characters go in Tokyo Revengers, even though we just talked about the first 3 episodes, I really like Draken as well.
Yeah, same.
So hopefully,
I don't know who's going to be my favorite character yet.
Yeah, we'll see. You'll have to let us know.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be up in the air for now, but never know. Could be him. Could be Mikey. Could be Michi. Could be any of the other ones that I haven't learned their names yet.
I like all 3 of them. Like Takamichi, Mikey, and Draken, I think are all really interesting in their own ways.
Yeah.
I like the brother too.
Naoto?
Yeah.
I would hope so. He's facilitating this whole plot.
You know, Hina's...
He's the bad guy.
Hina's pretty good as a character.
Until she becomes the bad guy. It's always the people you least expect. Like Phil from Promised Neverland.
Hey.
I forgot about that.
I know he's the fucking bad guy in that. I still haven't watched any more of that show than what we already watched, but I know it's him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't know who the traitor is. That's right.
Yeah, you think he's so innocent. It's fucking Phil. I have to ask, Envy, did that come out recently, the final bit of it?
What, the second season?
Yeah, the anime?
Yeah, it came out last year, but it's one of those things where we don't talk about it. It never happened.
Ah, right. Okay, yeah. So it's basically watch the first season and then just read the manga from then on?
The first 3 episodes of the second season I thought were pretty good. After that, it just kind of dove off a cliff.
All right.
So,
boy, howdy. Let's hope this one doesn't do that.
No, they're actually adapting the arcs in order because the next season is basically an adaptation of the next arc where this season ends off. So
okay, well that's good to hear.
Because I think the manga is on its last arc right now, and after that, I think they have like I want to say the anime adapted either half or the first third of the manga.
Well, if it's the first third and they're kind of be coming up on their final chapter, you know, that'll put them in a nice 3 seasons whenever they're done. That could be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be down to watch some more of this at some point.
Do you like the opening and ending?
They were nice.
I love them.
Yeah. Good songs.
They're so catchy.
So many people have made this joke, and yet it still bears repeating. The guy who sings the opening, he sounds so much like Bruno Mars.
Hey, that's not a bad thing.
No, but just like, I just want Bruno Mars to cover the song now in English.
Yeah, I'm sure some people have sent it to him, and he's probably talking to his people about, you know, getting those accounts deleted. I don't know. We have any other thoughts on this for now? The first 3 episodes, I'm sure you have plenty of thoughts on it for later episodes, but we'll stick to teasing for now.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything to say without, like, spoiling.
Same.
It's cool. We already know the brother and the sister are the bad guys. We already know this. Just like Phil.
Just like Phil.
Just like Phil. Alright, so next week, we're going to do another series. This is one that I've actually, like, don't know anything about, but I've heard the name a number of times.
Same.
Gav, did you suggest this one too?
No.
I think it was
Chibi.
Chibi suggested this one. Okay, well hopefully they're here for it. Next week we're watching Bungo Stray Dogs. Don't know a damn thing about it, don't know if it's good or bad, going in completely blind. And does anyone have like a general synopsis of what this is about?
I mean, Gav, you've seen
like
it
the
before.
30s, right?
Period piece?
I
Okay.
think it's a period piece.
I could be down for a period piece.
Yeah, it's
30s makes me think Mafia, but I might just be like going off Bacano.
Is it not the 30s? I don't even know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like when
That's
it's
unfortunate.
set.
Yeah, when is it set?
You know, I've seen it, but I like don't even remember.
That's not a good endorsement, Gav.
You know, hold on. I have a hard time remembering like the time period when things are set. All I know is that, I mean, the characters are named after like late authors and poets.
Okay.
But I don't think they actually like. I'm not sure they actually say when it's set. They might, but like I don't remember.
Okay, for now I'm under the assumption this is magical realism, and we'll work with that. Yeah, so come back and join us for Bungo Stray Dogs next week, and we'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!